Good evening to everyone. I'm not able to hear the noise. Good evening, please. Very, very good evening. Yeah, thank you. See, just now we had a lovely speech by Madam Neena, where she talked about etiquettes. In fact, I'm going to continue the story, but I'm going to give a slight twist in the tale. Okay. Now, there are two things actually. Suppose, say, I'm sitting somewhere here. Okay. Now I heard Madam tell us just now that you should know how to address to people. Okay. The way you address definitely matters on the final results. Suppose I am sitting somewhere there and suddenly a snake comes. Suddenly a snake comes and it's sitting somewhere in the middle of the table. Can I start addressing the snake by telling, hello, my dear snake, how are you? What can I do for you? How are things, okay, and what do you want? What can I give you? Can I address a snake like that? So yes, so where is the difference now? Is it possible that you can actually address the same way to everyone, or is there some kind of a template which you can use which will make you decide as to how to address to which person in which way? This is exactly what I am trying to talk with you for the next 20 minutes. Okay. Now yes, you all agree with me that if it's a snake, I'll have to deal with it slightly differently. So how do I deal with it differently? What is etiquette actually? Is it good manners? What do you mean by etiquette? Etiquette and good manners, yes, there is a slight difference. Etiquette, I would say, is what is the most appropriate reaction or appropriate thing you have to do. It's like, that is a slight difference actually. It is not actually very, okay. So before I start, let me congratulate MMA for their 56th anniversary. And I thank Sea Change for this lovely opportunity which has been given. So as we are seeing, I can very clearly see that there is some change happening already. So let us probably see the real change by the end of this 24 hours. Okay. The audio is there? Okay, anyway. Okay. Now, as I just told you, for each and every situation, there may be a different way you have to address. But every time it has to be appropriate. Or should it be appropriate? Should we be someone else? That is my question here today. If I have to speak by walking, I will walk and speak. If I have to sit and speak, I will sit and speak. Okay. I will sit and speak like this. If I have to dance and talk to you, I will dance and talk. What is important to you? Is the message important to you, or is it how I behave in the stage important to you? Can someone answer using the mic? What is important? Is the message important to you, or how do I handle myself here which is important to you? Can someone answer this question? Can I hear the answer please? Yes please, yeah, last bench, yeah. Huh? Message is important. Message is important and not how I behave here? Okay, who said both? Why both? If the message is important, how does it matter whether I wear the tie or not? How does it matter whether I walk or not? Why should it be important?
Distraction.
Huh? It is distraction. Is it distraction or bad manners? What if I sit like this and talk to you? Okay, what happens? Am I giving you a bad impression somewhere or other? Would you like to hear my words after I talk to you like that? So exactly, there is some sense in why we have to observe these etiquettes. In the courtroom, you see lawyers. It is actually the arguments which make them win the case. But still, both the defense and the opponents have to wear a certain kind of a dress. Am I right or wrong? Is the court judge impressed about the dress or the speech? Is he impressed about the dress which he wears, whether it is ironed or not, or about his arguments? Or probably the suitcases, I don't know what matters. But something or other matters, am I right or wrong? Okay, so this is exactly what I am trying to say. etiquette may not be all that matters, but etiquette matters. Etiquette definitely matters. But let us see what is happening in reality. Are the words please, sorry, thank you, do they have the real meaning they ought to have? How many times do you sorry and you do not mean it? Correct me if I am wrong. How many times you hear the word sorry and it really does not have that meaning? How many times when you hear the words thank you and it really does not have that meaning? So I am asking you again a counter question. Is etiquette outdated? Is it time for a revision of what is considered as good etiquette? Is it time for that? Is it time for you to revise what is supposed to be good manners in profession? Why is a business person supposed to wear a tie and coat and suit while he goes and meets his clients or customers? Is it always necessary? Can you go and meet a car mechanic with a tie and a suit and go and talk to him about business? I'm sure probably the business may not be from the result point of view, maybe it does not work. So again, it comes to the basic point, your dress also need to be revised according to the occasion. So what are those things which actually devise your proper etiquettes? Can you sit in your office like this? That was just a wake-up call. In case if there was anyone asleep, I'm sure by this time you would have been awake. Okay. But yes, many times we see in the office people sleeping. Many times we see in the office people maybe in their own cabin but keeping their legs on the table. Okay. Is it a proper behavior? And many times people fight in the office. I will tell you one very good reason why I am the best person to talk about etiquette. There are at least 2 to 3 jobs where probably I left because of a fight. It might be surprising that a person is talking like this in the stage. But I am telling you, when you toss a coin, you can know the result of the coin by 2 ways. Either by looking at the result or by looking at the other side of the coin. In fact, it's always better you look at the other side of the coin because most probably both sides may be heads or both sides may be tail. So always when you toss a coin, always look at both the sides. So look at your success, look at your failures also. Both have got very good messages and have the guts to convey the message to others. That is exactly what I am trying to do here. You see, etiquette, again I am telling you, is definitely undergoing a massive change. We are still in some kind of we are still trying to be in an environment which is slowly getting outdated. Let me tell you why I am talking like that. Okay, now as I told you in one of the previous slides, etiquette is not rocket science. It is common sense. What is etiquette? Should I have to teach you? Can someone tell me, should I have to teach you? Excuse me, I am not able to hear. Can someone who has the mic please use the mic? Should etiquette be taught or is it common sense? Do you have to be told at this age, you are all adults here, do you have to be told as to how to behave in appropriate situations? Excuse me, I'm not able to hear. Can someone answer this question please? Okay, fair enough. Let me do the answer for you. Okay. Etiquette is common sense. Do you have to dress appropriately? It's well known. What is the appropriate dress? Varies from person to person. You have to dine appropriately. Well known. How you have to dine appropriately? It's again different from person to person. In India, we eat using hands. In Western world, you have to use the fork and spoon. Normally, in a business conferences, it is acceptable. It is considered to be good manners when you are using fork and spoon. Okay, it varies your perspective. But effectively, I will tell you, etiquette will be decided by these 3 factors: culture, your social purpose, and also your business purpose. Your social purpose, your business purpose. Culture, again, as I told you, if you are giving a visiting card in India or in any of the Asian countries, you can give a visiting card like this. In China or Japan, they would like you to give with both hands. Okay, so it matters. From culture to culture, you should understand what is the context. Second, social context. As I told you, you cannot dress the same way when you meet different kind of societies, different kind of people. Some may find your dressing not appropriate to the situation. Third, business context again. Your purpose, depending upon the purpose, how you dress, how you talk, how you behave, definitely has a difference. So etiquette will be decided by these three factors. So in fact, if you can understand that this is only these three factors which will determine etiquette, and if you also understand that etiquette is common sense, then definitely you will be able to choose what is appropriate in any kind of situation. That is what I am trying to say. Etiquette in any kind of situation can be easily handled if you understand this concept. The concept is very simple. It has to vary from place to place depending upon these three factors. Like again, there are so many things which really matters in an office. The way your table is, the way your chair is, how you conduct yourself in a conference, how you conduct yourself in any meetings. Okay, now let me tell you about what I have watched in many offices where I visited. I see in the reception a very neat and clean table many of the times. Normally most of the receptions are very neat and clean table. But I would also, there are many times that I have received call center calls where I can hear someone eating something and talking to me. I can hear someone drinking something and talking to me. Is it so urgent that they can't do one of this at one time? As you see here, this is not a proper etiquette, or is it a proper etiquette? Does it affect the result of the call? It affects the result of the call. Am I right or wrong? So this is again very common sense. She can actually drink that water 2 minutes later, or she can actually take the call 2 minutes later. But most of the people probably forget what is the etiquette here. Okay. Again, there are many times in the office when your colleagues may need help. There are many times in your own college time, your colleagues may need help while say taking a Xerox out or something, whatever. Do you actually go and help them? You see, there is one very, very classic difference here. The social context and the business context is where I am telling you. For example, in a social context, when a lady is coming in, you are expected to open the door. If you are going in a public bus, you are expected to give the seat to her. But in a business context, probably that privileges are not given to the females. Am I right or wrong? It's supposed to be gender neutral. It's supposed to be gender neutral, where it's almost supposed to be equal actually. So, but actually, do we actually follow all this? The visiting card, as I told you, there is a difference, definite difference. Elevators. I have seen people talking about office politics in their lifts actually. Okay, which is again detrimental to the interest of the company, detrimental to the interest of people. So again, when there's a crowded elevator, whoever is standing near the button, he had it. There will be 3 voices telling first floor, there will be 2 voices telling second floor, there will be 4 voices telling 5th floor, and he will become the liftman if the lift does not have a liftman. So what is the etiquette there? So again, I'm asking this question as to if there is anyone, after all this, can someone tell me what is the difference between etiquette and manners? Again, this question need not be answered, but if there is an answer, please raise your hand. Okay, let me hope at least before the end there is an answer for this. Okay. How to shake hands is very fine. How to address people, look at his eyes is very fine. How to conduct yourself when you are in a dining hall is very fine. In a office canteen, people shouting and having time. It all again depends upon the office culture. Some offices may have an open culture where you can do anything you want. Some colleges may have an open culture where you can do anything you want. Some colleges and offices may have the restrictions. So again, it depends upon the culture, the social context, and the business context. So all these 3 things would definitely make a difference. Again, whether you have to wear the tie or not, whether you need to come with a full hand shirt or not, everything would depend. Again, in offices, people do not use their dustbin properly. Now, these are small things which probably need to be more noticed than the other etiquettes. The office dustbin is not only bad manners, it is bad practice for branding of the office. The people, if there is a black spot in the shirt, the black spot will be watched by everyone. Am I right or wrong? Okay, I wear a white shirt and there is a black spot, the black spot will be more watchable. This is one more important reason why we should take care about this small thing. It might be a very small thing, but actually this is what matters in an office. The dustbins are not properly kept, and etiquette actually matters here. So actually you see here there are 2 ways to see things, etiquette. The positive side of etiquette is it is good for branding of yourself, of your office, of your community, of your college, wherever. If your college is neat and span, it's a good reputation for the college. If all the people in the college come well dressed, it's a good reputation for the college. Etiquette has this positivity in it, which in fact overdoes all the other negativities which I listed in the beginning. Telling the please, sorry, thank you may not really matter anymore, or does not make any sense anymore. And all those other negativities which I told you. The positivities definitely overcome the negativities. Hence, if you are in business, if you have to join in trade, you will have to follow the rules. Just like how lawyers have to follow the rules if they are in their court. It makes all sense because it induces inside you a sense of discipline. It induces inside you a sense of responsibility. It induces inside you to a difference in you where you are clearly seen as a person who can be relied upon. Yes, this person is a businessman who can sell, from whom I can buy something. It is that confidence which you can give if you have proper etiquette. Okay. Again, I am still not defining etiquette properly because I want this definition from someone of you. Have you noticed what is this? There's many times it happens that in the office there could be someone playing games. There would be someone going into internet when the office rules say you cannot go into internet. So how do you actually, is it really a question of etiquette or is it a question of legality? I don't know. Okay, but remember, it is a very, very simple game. How do you deal on etiquette on all occasions? It's very, very simple. Behave as if you are always being watched. If you behave as if you are always being monitored, if you behave as if you are always being watched by someone, you would automatically know what to do in any situation. If this lady had known that there was someone watching from behind and taking a shot at her, definitely she would be doing bank business at this point of time. Etiquette difference comes there. If you really know, well, if you really think that there is someone is watching you, but I'm not asking you to become very self-conscious, but that is exactly what will help you in behaving very well in whatever situation. Again, in buses, a lot of times I've seen people with their company badge very clearly visible talking politics about companies. It can be actually news for the competitors. It can be actually, there is even office project details which are talked very openly in some of the buses, which can be real good news for the competitors. It can be used. I'm not sure whether it comes under the legal angle or whether it is bad etiquette. But yes, these are large areas of etiquette in today's world which has to be watched about. It is not just about saying hello or saying thank you. The business scenario is changing, and hence we need to address all these factors into the etiquettes of the learning of etiquettes. This is one notice which was seen in one of the Australian toilets. If you can read that. In one of the companies in Australia, this was the first person put up that, and it was followed by a second person who put up the next one. Toilet manners. I'm very sorry. Both in social contest and business contest, we are putting it under the carpet. In the offices, many offices I have seen, even in the near vicinity I have seen this, the tap is always open, as if it's no one's business to close it. In the toilets, people do not flush it, whether in the urinals or in the toilets. What branding are we talking about? What is the point if the company spends crores and crores of money in advertising, putting up hoardings everywhere? If the one comes to the office and notices all this, what kind of an impression do you carry from there? These are most important things which one needs to be taught. Etiquette is very, very important for branding. Gossips. Is gossip good or bad? Huh? Bad. Gossip is waste of time. For whom actually? For the gossiper or for the listener? Who doesn't like gossips actually? You don't like gossips? You don't like gossips. But some interesting news is there. Some interesting news that you won't listen. We all like gossips, no doubt. Let us not let us not hide this fact. We all like gossips. But office gossips, etiquette, legal, good manners, bad manners, what is it? Think over. As I told you, toilet manners matter. How you behave outside the office in the street matters. Remember, any boardroom is as good as an open room. There might be cameras or people watching you from wherever, and it makes a lot of impression about you. Now let me come to this subject, online. Now online is changing the world. Online is changing the world. How it is changing the world, we all know. And let me take 2 more minutes, please. How it is changing the world, we all know. Today, we are able to even converse with chief ministers or prime ministers and address him by name, thanks to tweeters, etc. This wasn't available 5 years or 6 years back. And this is actually carried forward into offline also, as we saw in the Arab Springs, etc. So world is changing somewhere or other. So let us be very clear, etiquette is being evolved actually. It is getting changed. About email, okay, next. Okay, this is just a survey, okay, which just recently came about Generation Y. How Generation Y is changing the etiquettes using the online. Okay, most of you here belonging to the Generation Y, you obviously do not like authority, people talking to you, people advising you. Okay, you need to share things in the online. You are more friendly. Okay, so all these things definitely do make a difference, both in the workplace and both also in the also on the etiquette part. You people are surely using the online to change your ethics. Just as I'm telling you, this is the final takeaways. Etiquette is by common sense. Etiquette is evolving. Etiquette is it is not manners. Etiquette and manners, there is a difference. Just think you are continuously monitored. Etiquette depends upon culture, social and business context. Generation Y and Generation X are sure to change ethics, and already there is a lot of transformations going on. One good news is I definitely see the Generation Y, in Generation Y, they have more sincerity when they say please, sorry, thank you, etc. compared to the previous generations. So I would definitely say we can rely on Generation Y when they take over, whether here or in Delhi. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay Balaji. That was a session on etiquette for any situation.